My name is Viviane Johnson. I am a licensed professional counselor. I work at New Path Child and Family Solutions, and this is my story. I am a residential therapist. I'm licensed as a licensed professional counselor. I have been working in this field for a little bit over a year and a half, almost 2 years in October. I work with a lot of different age ranges here at the residential facility. The lowest age that we have is 7 years old, all the way up to 15 years old. So we work with a lot of kids who have behavioral issues, primarily around trauma, a lot who have attachment issues, concerns with foster placement. So we work with a lot of different environments and populations of different kinds. So I do individual therapy, which consists of psychotherapy services. I do a lot of play therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, dialectical behavioral therapy, which is very, very common here. Doing that, I do a lot of crisis work as well. So anytime we have a crisis here, which typically looks like a kid being either physically or verbally aggressive, a lot of times they have emotional outbursts, angry outbursts. So I typically am the one to respond to those events. Working with children in a residential interventions program, I've learned that patience is incredibly important here. They listen, but it sometimes takes time for them because they're going through something that maybe you don't understand in that moment. So I've learned to be empathetic, patient, and just be caring. At the end of the day, they just want someone to listen to them and hear them out because what they're going through is really challenging. And at the end of the day, we really can't put ourselves fully in their shoes because we're not there in that moment. So we have to really be mindful of that. And I've learned that doing this job. You do need to have a master's in clinical mental health counseling or related to be a licensed professional counselor. You have to go through a 2-year training program, which is what I did, essentially through an accredited university. University of Cincinnati is accredited, so I was able to attend there. You also need to pass a licensing exam, which is called the National Counselor's Exam. I started with attending Gateway Community College, which is a 2-year college that promotes a lot of programs the same as a 4-year would, except half the cost of a 4-year university, which is really awesome. I earned my Associate of Arts degree in General Studies because I wanted to have a little bit of leeway in identifying what I wanted to do in my 4-year program. With that, I transferred then to Northern Kentucky University, where I obtained my Bachelor's of Arts in Psychology. I went with that route because I wanted to kind of build on that helping profession a little bit and my experiences. I knew that I didn't want to very specialize in something right away up until my master's, which is then what I obtained at the University of Cincinnati here, actually back in April. So I earned my Master's of Arts in Clinical Mental Health Counseling. I became licensed here back in May of 2022. For me, I found Gateway to be really helpful in that I did not need to have the glitz and glamour of a 4-year university because I found my educational experiences to be just as meaningful, if not more. So I took a lot of the same courses that my peers did who went to a whole 4-year university, and I saved more money. I bought myself a car in that process, actually. And so I found so much more meaning in that process. I was also able to be involved in a lot of leadership activities that I probably would never have gone into if I had gone to a big university. But I think ultimately what I wanted to accomplish there was just kind of show people that, no matter where you go to school, your experience is what you make of it. And so if you can, find a path that you enjoy, go for it and really try to make the most of it. And I always encourage work smarter, not harder. My family experiences are very different and unique in that I grew up in a military family. My mom is originally from Germany, so I was born and raised in Germany. I was able to travel the world at a young age because of the military, and so I actually attended American schools on a military base, so I was able, to continue with my primary language of English, but I also was able to remain in the German community and engage in sports, and I have German family, so I still was able to keep my German language. I moved to America because my dad, he obtained a job here at the University of Cincinnati to teach ROTC. I graduated high school at Randolph High School in 2016. I spent a lot of time learning American culture a little bit. I think when I moved here, I had a pretty significant culture shock just because when you live in Germany, it's an entirely different environment than living in America. If I could give my teenage self some advice, it would be don't compare yourself to others. I experienced a lot of that growing up just from family, friends, people around me. I didn't know who or what I wanted to do when I got older. I'm not that old, but I am in a place now in my life where if I look back at the time that I've spent, the things that I've done, the experiences that I've gained, it's that, comparing yourself really is something that takes time away from things that you're really passionate about. So give yourself time, grace, and patience to really explore what it is that you want to do. And if you're passionate about something, go for it. That's the biggest piece of advice I could give to anyone, and to myself now too. Be passionate and let that fuel your fire and continue to go for what you want to do. Thank you for listening to my story today, and if you need to talk to me or get in touch with me, please feel free to, or please talk to your counselor or anyone who can assist you with anything that's going on.